And what about the reality that there is a company, one that you are already conversant with, that is already in operation with its software in the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the Pentagon, and the national health records of 56 million British citizens? All at once? A firm that has not had a single profitable year in 18 years has been burning hundreds of millions of dollars each year, yet the US government continued to write checks. They were not able to afford letting it die. A company that had never been the first to be invested in by a venture capital company. It was the CIA, a corporation that, according to several officials in the United States, assisted in following the activities of the Osama bin Laden network and possibly enabled the 2011 raid even before one of the Navy SEALs had set foot in a helicopter. This company is valued at more than $80 billion today. It surpassed $2.8 billion in revenue in 2024, and today, however, with artificial intelligence, it is executing real-time battlefield movements in Ukraine as you watch this video. This is referred to as Palantir. The all-seeing crystal ball was named after the Lord of the Rings, and when you have a glimpse of the way it actually works, you will never again consider data, power, and privacy. The year is 2003. America has just invaded Iraq. The intelligence world is in disarray. Billions of dollars of data, intercepted messages, satellite pictures, field reports, etc. are languishing in disconnected systems that cannot communicate with each other. A decision to create a solution was made by two Stanford University alumni, PayPal billionaire co-founder Peter Thiel and a Frankfurt philosopher, PhD holder Alex Karp. They have a company named Palantir, the name of a company in The Lord of the Rings, created by J.R.R. Tolkien. In the books, a Palantiri is a magical crystal ball by which its owner is able to see what is occurring anywhere in the world in real time. This name was selected by the founders. That is just what they wanted to construct. It is what it does. Because it does it, we have called it a seeing stone in The Lord of the Rings. And it is in this that the story gets truly marvelous. They did not have a Silicon Valley venture fund as their initial investor. It wasn't a tech billionaire, it was the CIA. The Central Intelligence Agency has a venture capital arm. It is called In-Q-Tel, and its sole aim is to invest in technology firms that can provide the US intelligence community with a strategic advantage. The first institutional investor of Palantir was In-Q-Tel, not Google, not Sequoia, the CIA. This wasn't just symbolic. Palantir would have direct access to actual intelligence issues, actual government bids, and actual classified datasets to test its software on, courtesy of the CIA. It was a symbiotic relationship in the first place. The government required something that would help bridge the gaps. Palantir required an unlimited budget and boundless data from a client. What followed would alter the history, quite literally. May 2, 2011, Navy SEALs invade a compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, and assassinate Osama bin Laden, the mastermind of the September 11th attacks and the most wanted man in the world for nearly 10 years. The Navy SEALs were hailed in the world. Some other discussion was going on within the intelligence circles. Several American government officials and news reports showed that the information platform, the ability of Palantir to visualize human networks, trace financial transactions, and link seemingly unrelated fragments of intelligence within its datasets, played a key role in tracking the network of bin Laden and bringing him near. The key to the greatest intelligence operation of modern times could have been a data company, not the SEALs, not the satellites, that were the key. Palantir has never officially acknowledged its involvement. In a way, that makes you know it all. In the last 20 years, Palantir has constructed a list of clients that reads like the who's who of world power. I am referring to the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, the Pentagon, Department of Homeland Security, USA, out of the United States. The National Health Service in the UK, which is commonly abbreviated as NHS, awarded Palantir a deal to handle the medical records of more than 56 million patients. The Ministry of Defense of the UK, the intelligence units of several NATO countries, and presently, at this very time, as you see this video, the artificial intelligence platform Palantir has developed is being implemented in actual battlefields in Ukraine to support the military commanders in making real-time decisions on troop movements, logistics, and threat assessment. It is not science fiction. This is occurring nowadays. As of 2024, Palantir had collaborated with over 100 governmental agencies and institutions in the United States, the United Kingdom, and its allies. Its 2024 annual revenues reached their highest increase of over $2.8 billion. The Palantir software was utilized by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, to track, locate, and help in arresting illegal immigrants. The critics argued that the site enabled mass surveillance of millions of people, with the majority of them not having any criminal background. Protests erupted. Internal uprisings in Palantir. Open letters to the company were written by hundreds of engineers and analysts to cancel its ICE deals, and some of them resigned when the company refused. The simple question that Palantir makes us ask is as follows: when one firm is the keeper of the keys of the surveillance machine of an entire government, who checks on the watchers? In a non-authoritarian country, civil liberties groups allege that the Palantir-developed tools have been used to develop what is, in effect, the most potent civilian surveillance system in history in a non-authoritarian country. This is what most people lack knowledge of. Palantir has been losing 18 years in a row. The company squandered cash every year since 2003, with hundreds of millions of dollars a year spent in most instances without even registering any profit. The majority of the companies would have failed. The majority of investors would have left. But Palantir was fortunate to possess the one thing that startups tend to lack, which is government contracts that guaranteed them revenue, and advocates who understood that the real payoff would not be profitability quarter to quarter, but rather that they would become the backbone of the most powerful institutions the world ever witnessed. However, in 2021, Palantir made its first profit. Its market capitalization reached a high of more than $80 billion at one point. By the end of 2024, a data analytics company will be more valuable than most banks in the world. Its shares had surged over 1,000% since its 2020 IPO lows, and it was one of the hottest stocks on Wall Street. And there is this man who is making it run. Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir, is not like any other executive in Silicon Valley. He has a PhD in philosophy from the Johann Wolfgang Goethe University in Frankfurt. He refuses to wear suits. He has publicly admitted that he trains Qigong, a type of martial arts meditation in the Chinese tradition, for hours a day. He is a progressive who believes in the liberal democratic order, but on the other hand, he is the man in charge of a company that makes surveillance and military technology that most progressives despise. He does not put his back on the contradiction. Actually, he leans into it. In external interviews and shareholder letters, Karp has claimed that if liberal democracies fail to develop the strongest AI and data tools in the world, they will be developed by authoritarian regimes. And that is much more dangerous, as he sees it. Whether these tools will be built or not, Karp has said, the question is who builds them and whose values are these. Palantir is a great many things. It is a national security property. It is a privacy nightmare. It is a monetary phenomenon. It is an echo of the question, how far are we going to put our power into the hands of a single private company? And what do we become when that company once gets so deep into the wheels of government that it can never again find the means of getting them out? The United States, the United Kingdom, and dozens of other nations that are allied with them have literally provided Palantir with the keys to their most secret data, their military planning, their immigration systems, their health system in the community. However, to the extent that Palantir is the magic crystal ball that the Palantir founders are envisioning, then the question is, who decides what to do with what it sees? That answer, today, is of a firm with which many of us are unacquainted. To subscribe, in case this video has triggered your eyes to see a company that has been operating in the background of the powerhouse of the world, smash the like button and subscribe. There are more such stories to come.